Welcome back to Grand Slam again, here on the MVG Productions Network Association, all that stuff. I'm Jason Myers. Usually I'm joined up here with either Turd Ferguson or Scott Michels or Brandon Scruggs. I don't have any of them up here tonight, but I do have somebody else, a sportscaster in his own right, representing Canada, Dave Standish. Dave, how you doing?
Well, hi, Jason. Nice to know I'm the fourth option, but I'm very happy to be with you tonight.
Hey, fourth option is better than not being an option at all. I'm just saying. But
no, you're right.
But Dave, have you seen Grand Slam before? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I saw the original. Actually, we made sure to order the Game Show Network that month specifically to watch it because there were so many big names from the game show world that were in this unique format with a clock running. And yeah, my entire family really enjoyed it. And I'm so glad that MVG has brought this to our YouTube channel. It's a very exciting concept.
Indeed. And now you get to experience this live along with everybody else out there that's watching this for the first time in the live stream or maybe on demand later on in the day. In fact, we just had somebody chime in wanting to be a contestant on the series. We've already got the brackets figured out, unfortunately, but maybe if you're around a year from now, we could try to get you in. That's Inman Slimmer. Anybody know who that is out there? Inman Slimmer? Yes, no, maybe, possibly, could be. Cool. Going on. Speaking of brackets.
It's good to have them.
Right? Great to have you in the
tell them
audience.
to join MVG.
Yeah, great to have you in the audience. Stick around, see how it goes, and you'll have a better idea of how to approach this thing for next year. But in the meantime, let's take a look at those brackets. As we take a look at our number 7 seed, Scott Michels, taking on number 26, Mark Liotta. A fellow Canadian is taking place tonight.
Yeah, it's nice to be the second Canadian after Mark's had so much history with MVG. I've been watching stuff back from 2020, and he's been a player and a host for a very long time. I think, Mark, you're on your 6th or 7th year now, and you've got hundreds of videos up, so everyone should check out the Mark Liotta channel and for game shows and video game things. And yeah, it's a great long-term relationship. But yeah, Mark was the only Canadian for a long time, and I joined in November, and now we've had a third man from Halifax join us. So, yeah, we're going to try to take over. I think him and I are on the opposite sides, so we might end up in the final together.
Yeah, actually, whichever one of these two wins has a chance to face off against either you or Will Medina. So we may very well see Canada versus Canada in the next round. You and Mark.
Well, let's see what Scott has to say. He's a higher seed, and he's participating constantly on MVG production items, and these two guys really know their stuff, and they've been told the rules prior to the game and before we signed on, and both players are ready to go, and I think we're ready for round 1.
Yeah, Scott's definitely got youth on his side. He's got some smarts on his side too, but Mark is not one to be counted out. Mark may have an advantage when it comes to word games and word questions, but we'll see how it all pans out. So we take it down to the floor, to the question man. Question man, take it away.
Thank you much. Players, take your positions. All right, players, here in our first round, we have our teaser round. Of course, these are jackpot-style riddles that you will be asked. And again, you're going to need to give me what it is the riddle is leaning towards. Okay? So we talked about this backstage with Scott as he was the higher overall seed. He has decided he will be going second here in round 1. So, Mark, we'll start with you. Again, remember, players, you have 90 seconds on your clock. You have 3 switches total that will help get you through the first 3 rounds of our game here tonight. If you need a new question, but you don't want to switch it to the other person, just say pass, and I will get you another question. So, with that being said, Mark, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, Mark, your time begins now. I'm made of steel And don't mind the banging. I can be put in wood or keep a picture hanging.
Frame.
No. With a long wooden handle and strong teeth of metal, use this to even out the soil or to gather each leaf and petal.
Oh. Pass.
I may resemble anything, but usually stand alone in a park or museum made of wood, marble, or stone.
Pass.
Stop me with your finger from spinning round and round. Now take a close look. What place have you found?
Oh, God. Pass.
To show you what balance really is, it's one of the best examples around. It works with two people and is found in a playground.
Seesaw.
Correct, Scott. I will first listen to you and then bring what you want. Find me in a cafe or a restaurant.
A waiter.
Correct, Mark. I proudly light up the night, so visit me if you please, but pack for a long journey, and I'm not made of cheese.
The moon.
Correct, Scott. Perched on a sea cliff, I flash signals with pride to help in dangerous weather.
Lighthouse.
Correct, Mark. I may always seem tired and slow under my hard shell. Recall my race with a hare, and you'll do well. Correct, Scott. Think of thin sticks of wheat thrown in a pot to boil. Drain the water, then add some sauce or oil.
Spaghetti.
Correct, Mark. I'm made of steel, but as light as a feather, with a vent, and time is up. So with that, Scott, you have won this round, and you will be taking 1 minute and 2.384 seconds along with you to the final round.
I would say Scott just took a page out of Kevin's book there with that huge time bank, 1:02.
Yeah, very impressive. Unfortunately, for Mark, sometimes those riddles can be very hard to deal with. On other shows, you usually get a repeat and a longer clock to deal with. So perhaps some switches may be used in the second round and third round, and get more distribution between the two players. We'll have to wait and see.
Definitely. And speaking of switches, we have a statistician down there on the field, Jose. Give us an update. What are we looking at switch wise?
Well, nobody has used any of their switches yet. They have all three still in play. So very interesting to see how this is going to unfold in the next few rounds.
Definitely. And speaking of the next round, Scott's going to start this one. This is the odd one out round. How do you think this is going to pan out, Dave?
Well, I think it might be more mental than anything else. Again, it can, for 32 players, we're going to have 32 different strategies. I'm getting nervous just watching these guys, thinking about my turn coming up in a couple of days. But you know what? It's just about concentration and mental fortitude, and when to pass early, when to pass late, and or when to switch. So the strategy is a big part of this game, and not only the smarts. So that's what makes it so exciting.
Well, if anything, I'd say you have the advantage right now over both of them because you're watching them perform. You're developing your own strategies and keeping it to yourself, so you know what to expect when it's your turn.
Well, I mean, I've got a tough opponent coming up as well, so nothing's for granted here at MVG. We got 32 dedicated game show enthusiasts, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm not counting any chickens, nor should anyone else.
Yeah, leave the chickens for the grocery peoples. In the meantime, let's take it back down to the floor. Question man, do your thing.
Players, take your positions. All right, players, in this round, we will be doing the odd one out round. In this round, you will be given a set of items. You will then determine which one of them either does belong or does not belong. So please pay close attention to the question. And real quick, just wanted to say, Notice some people making some comments in the live chat there. Doug, we will make sure to get that forward to one of our admins here at MVG, and we'll see if they can reach out to you soon. So thanks for that, and thanks for being here watching. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on. So, Scott, you will be going first in this round. Again, players, both of you have all 3 switches remaining. Scott, are you ready?
I am.
Scott, your time begins now. Which one of these numbers is not a multiple of 4? 48, 64, 78?
78.
Correct. Mark. 2 of these words are synonyms of perfect. Which one isn't? Arrogant, splendid, faultless.
Splendid, flawless.
No, I'm sorry. 2 of these are types of fish. Which one is a mammal? A mackerel, a cod, an armadillo.
Armadillo.
Correct. Scott. 2 of these words are synonyms of instrument. Which one isn't? Device, utensil, musical.
Musical.
Correct. Mark. Which one of these words is not spelt correctly? Is it automobile? A-U-T-O-M-O-B-I-L-E. Helicopter. H-E-L-L-I-C-O-P-P-E-R. Or submarine. S-U-B-M-A-R-I-N-E.
Helicopter.
Correct. Scott. 2 of these are states. Which one isn't? New Mexico, New Jersey, New England.
New England.
Correct. Mark. Which one of these is not the name of a planet in our solar system? Jupiter, Taurus, Venus.
Second one.
You got to give me the word.
Oh, well, I forget what it was. Shit.
You can ask for a repeat.
Okay, repeat.
Jupiter, Taurus, Venus.
Oh, Taurus.
Correct. Scott. Which one of these trees is not spelled correctly? Birch, B-I-R-C-H. Peach, B-E-A-C-H. Spruce. Correct. Mark. 2 of these are countries. Which one is not? Austria, Sweden, Sicily.
Sicily.
Correct. Scott. Which one of these is not a type of flower? A yak, an orchid, a petunia.
Yak.
Correct. Mark. Which one of these sports or games is not played with rackets? Fencing, squat, and time is up. All right, Scott, you have won this round. You will be taking 42.697 seconds along with you to the final round.
I feel the pain up here coming from Mark's side of this round. Just getting hung up on that one question.
Yeah, sometimes things can snowball down the mountain, and again, there's several options that all the players have to use, and I think the biggest thing is maybe don't look at the clock and just concentrate on the questions and hope the clock is your friend at the end of the round.
Indeed, indeed. Truer words have never been spoken. And speaking of looking at the clock, Scott with another big bank of time there, about 42 seconds, if my memory served me right, about a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, but no one should get frustrated again. One person's trash could be another person's treasure, and then when it comes to subject matter, and then it could be completely the opposite, especially in the 2 most critical rounds, which are still to come.
That's why this guy's the sportscaster. I'm just here for comedic relief. Let's send it back down and see how well these competitors do. It's round 3. Question man, have at it.
Players, take your positions. All right, players, in this round, this is the sequencing round. In this round, you will be given a list of items. You may be asked to put them in a certain particular order. You may be asked which one of them came first. You may be asked which one came last. Again, the questions are very specific, and I will need a very specific answer. So please pay very close attention, and if you need, you can ask for a question to be repeated. Okay? So, real quick, Jose, if you would, how many switches does each player have remaining?
Well, this is impressive because we're halfway through the game and still neither of our players have used any of their 3 switches. They still have all 3.
All right. Thank you very much there, Jose. So, players, again, you have all 3 switches still remaining. Again, you can save them up if you want to, or again, use them as you wish. Okay. So, with that being said, Mark, you will be going first in this round. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mark, your time begins now. Mark, which one of these important inventions came first? The airplane, the telephone, or a Polaroid camera?
Telephone.
Correct, Scott. These 3 are usually found on a table when you eat. Which one is usually the longest? A knife, a fork, a spoon?
Knife.
Correct, Mark. If you boarded a plane in New York City heading east, which one of these European countries would you reach first? Russia, Great Britain, Germany?
Great Britain.
Correct, Scott. Which person appears first in a phone book? Stu Stapler, Sam Scissors, Stefan Stencil?
Scissors.
Correct, Mark. Which of these words comes first in a dictionary? Picture, pickle, pie?
Pickle.
Correct, Scott. Arrange these sea creatures by size from biggest to smallest. A great white shark, a killer whale, a blue whale?
Blue whale, killer whale, shark.
Correct, Mark. Which of these balls is the biggest and which is the smallest? A basketball, a volleyball, a soccer ball?
Okay, the biggest one I think would be a basketball, and the smallest one I think is a volleyball.
Correct, Scott. Which one of these names has the fewest syllables? Romeo, Juliet, Shakespeare?
Romeo.
No. Which one of these birds is the biggest? Pelican, a parrot, a penguin?
Pelican.
Correct. Mark, read out each of these words to find the one with the most syllables. Thesaurus, dictionary, synonym?
Dictionary.
Correct, Scott. Which one of these continents is the largest? Asia, Europe, North
Asia.
America? Correct, Mark. Which of these words comes last in a dictionary? Order, ordeal, orchard?
Torture.
No. Arrange these in order from largest to smallest. Our solar system, the universe, our galaxy?
Okay, solar system, galaxy, universe.
No. And time is up. Scott Michels, you have won this round. You will be taking forward with you 32.617 seconds to our final round.
Whew. That one had me on the edge of my seat. I will admit this right here, right now. It seemed like it was a good back and forth battle between the 2 of them, and then all of a sudden, time just ended up not being on Mark's side. Scott pulling out another one.
Yeah, that was the closest first half of a round there's been so far, and again, it just really depends on comfort level. That's my biggest worry about my round when it comes up is, will I forget even a second later if Turd says smallest to largest or largest to smallest? And not that Mark did, but that's what I'm worried about for myself, is trying to get that, is trying not to play the game so fast that you forget what the question is. So
right.
Again, that's a big note for the other 20 or so players that are going to be watching and making notes based on observing how these rules work so far. But round 4, again, it's anything and everything from aardvarks to zoology. So there's an opportunity for anyone to get caught up if they know enough. Let's just call it general knowledge.
I don't think you left me anything else to say after all that. But I will mention that Scott is the only one that's managed to bank time through all 3 rounds. He banked that just about 2 more minutes to go with everything that he's got. Maybe a little bit more than 2 minutes if the math turns out right.
Well, I mean, expect to hear the word switch quite often in this round because there are 8 left to play with and none left to carry over. So
Right.
once if you don't use them, you lose them. So look for a lot of switching to happen in this round for both competitors.
All right. Now, if you were a betting man, who's going to switch first?
Oh, who's going to switch first?
Yeah. If you were a betting man, right? Like
whoever
you
gets
slap money on the table, who do you have switching first?
Well, whoever gets flustered first. Again, somebody could be an expert in something, and then. But the key is to the switch is not only do I not know it, maybe that person doesn't know it either.
True.
But if you're watching for the very first time, double switches are allowed, and so someone could make a switch and then have it immediately switched back to them. You have to be prepared for any scenario. But again, 4 left, and then if switches are called for that they don't have anymore, like timeouts in basketball, there is not a time penalty, but there is a mention of you don't have any switches left, which does cost them a couple of seconds.
I just want to see them waste all 8 switches on one question just for the memes, but it's probably not going to happen.
Well, I think the win is more important than the meme sometimes.
Right.
But let's get down to it. Let's not make these players get any more nervous than I know they already are.
Right. So with that, question man, lead them to the destination.
Players, take your positions. All right, players, in this round, this is the wild card round. Again, you may be asked absolutely anything and everything in this round, so please pay close attention to the question. So, we will start with Scott Michels in this round. Scott, you have your base time of 1 minute 30 seconds. You were able to bank an additional 2 minutes and 18 seconds, which will give you 3 minutes and 48 seconds to use. Mark, you did not bank any time, so you will only have your base time of 1 minute and 30 seconds. Again, just as that reminder, you all still have all 4 of your switches. Use them wisely in this round because you don't want to leave anything on the table. And this match is not over until that final buzzer goes off. And when it does, we'll know who's going to move on in the tournament. So with that being said, Scott, again, you go first in this round. Are you ready?
Ready.
Scott, your time begins now. All right, I'm going to give you an animal with the missing vowels. Tell me the animal. D blank NK blank Y.
Donkey.
Correct. Mark. All right, give me 3 words that end in the letter P as in Paul.
Gallop and the tulip.
So still need 1 more.
Oh, you need 3 of them. Okay, group.
Scott, true or false? Lions hunt alone and tigers hunt in groups.
False.
Correct. Mark. Give me 3 words that rhyme with mice.
Nice, spice, and slice.
Correct. Scott. Give me 3 first names that begin with the letter R.
Randy, Ruby, Robin.
Correct. Mark. All right. Find the 2 colors that are combined to make purple. Blue, red, black.
Blue and red.
Correct. Scott. I'm going to give you a bird that's missing the vowels. Blank, S-T-R, blank, C.
Ostrich.
Correct. Mark. Give me 3 words that begin with the letter C-O.
Cone, comb, and cookie.
Correct. Scott. True or false? There are 12 inches in 1 foot.
True.
Correct. Mark. Give me 3 words that rhyme with shape.
Oh, okay, switch.
Scott.
Ape, drape, and
No, unfortunately, incorrect. All right,
Oh.
give me 2 cities that begin with the letter M as in Michael.
Minneapolis, Madison.
Correct. Mark. Find the 2 galaxies from the names below. Big Dipper, Venus Flytrap, Milky Way.
Big Dipper, Milky Way.
Correct. Scott. All right, I'm going to give you a fish. Blanks for the vowels. P blank N blank.
P.
And it's T as in Tom.
Tuna.
Correct. Mark. Give me 3 words that begin with the letters S-O.
Soup. Slop. No, that's not. Doesn't even matter now.
Time is up, Mark. We have come to the end of our game today. Scott Michels, you have won today's episode of Grand Slam. You will be moving on to the second round of our tournament. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow. 2 minutes and 35 seconds left on Scott's clock. I think he just broke Kevin's record.
Yeah, two very impressive performances here on the morning of July 4th. So I'm glad that you guys are able to be with us on an American and Canadian long weekend. But yeah, it's you know what? If it was 4 rounds of general knowledge with a clock, I think it would have been a more competitive matchup. But unfortunately, we don't get asked riddles and ordering in any other game show that we do. So it's not easy for anyone to come in, especially with a clock pressure. This wasn't first to 10. This was literally against the clock. So it's not easy. But like I said, all 32 people that are in here are pros, and everyone will make notes to what they need to do for going forward.
Indeed, they do. And speaking of people that just participated, let's bring Mark up here to get his take on what happened down there. Mark, you're up against some tough competition. At one point, it looked like you were destined to hold your own in one of the rounds. What happened?
I guess just the pressure of the clock. I mean, game like this where it goes down so fast, you don't really have a lot of time to think about your answer before you give it.
Yeah, this game is one of those ones where you want to pay attention, but the clock doesn't really allow it. And unfortunately, it bit you hard.
But I did try my best, though. Scott, congratulations, sir. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Definitely, and we hope to see you in next year's Grand Slam tournament, hopefully.
All right, well, we'll see about that. But Scott, again, congratulations, sir. Well played game.
Well, Scott, let's get your point of view on how that went. You had a lot of time between questions to be prepared for any possible switches, and the knowledge that you could take your time and well, not too much time on that one question, but you were able to relax knowing that you had so much time literally in the bank.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly just getting my answers out as quick as I could in the early rounds and then saving up that much time. And I mean, I still had all 4 of my switches. Yes, and end of the day, I didn't really need them.
Well, I think you were like probably 80 or 90% in the first 2 rounds. So well done to that. And I think we found the right format of questions. A lot of comprehension, a lot of quick thinking. And I look forward to what we're going to have here. Jason, I think we're going to have the NCAA basketball always calls it the Elite 8, but I think we're going to have some Elite 16. And when we get to the round of 16, man, it will be must-see TV because we're going to have 16 incredible players. I'm
Definitely.
Still trying to get there amongst yourselves as well, but yeah, it's going to be some fantastic watching, and we hope everyone will be with us both live and on demand.
Well, you already know who waits for you in the next round when your match comes up. And as I said, you already got the advantage over him already. You've already seen him sweat it out against Mark, so you know what to expect now.
Well, hey, I haven't beaten anyone yet. I haven't played yet, so I'm again. We'll leave that up to the commissioner to figure that out. But I think, well, I was going to say, I think Scott can go a long way, but I'd look forward to trying to stop him too.
Right. Speaking of the commissioner, the question man, let's bring him up here to get his take on how things went down. Turd.
Yeah,
Pretty
let me tell you,
interesting match between those two.
that was a Mark. I can tell you, Mark really did try his best, but I think what that matchup showed is how the pressure of that clock can really get to somebody, because Scott handled it with a breeze and like a champ. Mark is slowly but surely just started to fold underneath that pressure, which gave Scott more opportunity to feel more comfortable and like he could take his time. And I think that was a massive advantage to him.
Indeed, and we just had Kevin chime in on a live stream saying, "Thanks for letting me enjoy that record for less than an hour."
I can agree with you. That is according to watching the live stream time here, that match itself, I believe, is the fastest actual match. If you take out the talking times in the commentary booth, that was most definitely the fastest match time. And I know some people may want to say, well, the times are similar on both sides. No, that was... Unfortunately, I'm proud of Mark, and I appreciate him being a part of this. And Mark, I really do hope that you will continue to practice over the next year and come back and try again in 2024. But that's what we call here in the South an old-fashioned hiney washing.
Oh my god!
Who knows? Maybe during the break after this tournament's over with, Dave will pull Mark aside and be like, "All right, let's hit the books."
Well, again, I'm not trying to do everything for a single country on my own, but again, people learn and come out stronger the next time. And I think we have some new topics and new question styles for all of our games here on MVG based on the brilliant questions that Turd's been able to find. And what's the capital of Maine? It may not be as commonly used over the next 12 months as it may have been previously.
And we look forward to the questions on the next round, whoever it may be. Good luck to them. If you were watching, you know what to expect now. And if you weren't watching, you're going to be in for an experience you'll never forget. In the meantime, for Dave Standish, for Turd Ferguson, for our participants in the matchup, Scott and Mark, this is Jason Myers saying, if you're out there and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Hit that bell, turn on the notifications so that way you don't miss out on another live stream or any other videos that we post here on MVG Productions. Until next time, we're out of here. Good night.
Night.
This was an MVG production.